Hello and good morning and welcome back to Inkwoven Enchantment. Today we are going to talk about a recent book haul, but it's not your typical book haul. It's actually books that I got from my uncle and his collection. He was kind of getting rid of some stuff that he just doesn't need around anymore, and so he offered for all of the fantasy and sci-fi for me to pick it up. I was so ecstatic because I've been wanting to increase my science fiction collection. When we're later able to do my actual library tour, which should be very, very soon, you'll actually notice that sci-fi is one of my smallest collections, and that's just like really bad for me, honestly. I love science fiction. It's mostly what I want to write, and so it's confusing to me that that's where I have like the least amount of content. So, he was like so nice and let me get a couple of books from him. So let's talk about them. So the first two are fantasy and science fiction collections. So this one has some Asimov, Charles L. Grant, Edward Bryant, Park Godwin, Lisa Tuttle, and Ron Goulart. Um, when it was originally bought, it was $1.50. That's kind of crazy. And on the back, there's also a club for music to read by, and it was any six books for $1 with membership to get the records so that you could read alongside. One of this records is actually specifically film scores from movies. And so I think that's just really fun. Yeah, so that's book one, Fantasy and Science Fiction from May. And then he also had the one from December, which also has Isaac Asimov, Barry M. Malzberg, Robert F. Young, Mac Reynolds, sorry, John Berner, Michael Shea, and Lisa Tuttle. So that's really cool. Just a collection of stories. They don't really do this anymore. I don't know of many publishers that go out of their way to make little small collections, but I love these. I have a couple other on my shelf, and so these will be nice additions. Then after that, we got some classic Ray Bradbury. Actually, some Ray Bradbury I've never read before, so I'm really excited about that. The first one is A Medicine for Melancholy. So super pretty. I love this book because it's like printed a little bit weird, and I think that's like just brilliant. Like you don't see a lot of these kinds of prints being sold like this anymore. Um and like who has a cover like this? It's brilliant. I love it. So that's one. The next one is Ray Bradbury's The Golden Apples of the Sun. Again, another Bradbury I haven't read, so I'm really excited about that. Um, the other thing that I love about all of these is they're pretty thin and pretty quick to read. So I think most science fiction, especially classic science fiction, tends to be that. But I'm really looking forward to this. After that, we have The Machineries of Joy by Ray Bradbury, which is 21 short stories. So that'll be fun. He was definitely a thought leader on what future technology could be, so this could be really cool. After that, now we're getting into some more Asimov. I know we started with some Asimov. We're going to come back to it now. So we have a much earlier copy of I, Robot than I currently own. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to have this version, and honestly, I need to read this sometime. So maybe I'll read this one and see if my uncle left any notes. Then, we have a Ray Bradbury that I have read before, but I thought this was just too pretty to not take, as it's just a pretty, pretty cover of The Martian Chronicles. So, love this. Think it's so pretty. Cannot wait to dive in and see if there's any Martian Chronicle stories that I've forgotten over time. There's so many little kind of micro stories in here about like the evolution of humans on Mars and also Martians. And so, I'm sure there's a lot that I've forgotten, and I can't wait to dive in. Finally, we have these last two books. They're attached together with a rubber band. I'm not totally sure why, but the first one is Amazing Stories with All New Fiction by lots of various authors once more. And then finally, the last one, it's a different Martian book. It is called The Martian Way by Asimov. So we got two different little Mars stories, lots of Bradbury and Asimov, lots of short story collections. Honestly, this is just such a cool set of books that I was able to get from my uncle, and I wanted to share them with you. I am so thankful that my whole family is supportive of my crazy reading habits. And when I said, "Hey, I don't have a lot of science fiction," he was like, "Well, I was going to get rid of some anyway, so I can find a place or I can find a few that I think you might like." And then he did. And so I really appreciate that. I love my whole family. I'm glad so much of my family as readers. And I'm just really excited to dive into all of these. Speaking of family, I just did want to share a personal update. My grandfather just passed away, and it's been really tough on the family. But one thing that I learned about him that I didn't know about him is in his study, which is a room that I never went into before, he actually has 4 bookshelves of books. Some of them are old engineering books about electrical engineering and other topics. Some of them are like just binders of him storing all of the information about trips that he and my grandma went on together, which I think is really cute and sweet. But a lot of it is fantasy and science fiction. I saw some Terry Brooks. I saw some older versions of The Lord of the Rings. It was just really cool to see this aspect of my grandpa um, while still processing emotions. Today I'm feeling okay, actually, um, but it's still really recent, and I just wanted to share that with y'all, that you never know who else is a reader in your life, and maybe you should ask them about it, because I know I would have connected a lot with my grandpa on our reading, and I know he would also be so excited for me in getting these books from my uncle. So just feels really full circle for me right now to be reading all of these stories, to be enjoying them, and to be talking about them with you all. So that's it from me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, of your week, of your month, if you're only tuning in right this second for this one. Whatever it may be, I am really grateful you're here, and I hope you all enjoyed this small little video about some science fiction books. If you would like to continue to stick around and see what else I have to say, I make videos every week, and I try my best to make sure that they get published on time on Monday mornings. And I would love to hear from all of you what you want to hear from next. I definitely have some books that I've been reading that we'll talk about soon. I also have some crafts that I would love to tell you about. So we'll probably be doing a crafty deep dive at some point in the near future, because that's kind of what this channel is supposed to be. It's not just supposed to be books, but so far it's been just books, because that is truly something that I think we all need to talk about more. We all need to talk about the things we're reading, the things we're enjoying, anything critical that we can. I think it's just such a beautiful place to be. Anyway, this has been like the longest outro ever, but if you want to stick around, or you have any thoughts, or you have also read some of these stories, let me know in the comments, because I would love to know, and I would love to get to connect with you more. Thanks so much, and have a great week. Bye!